Do you see what I see? A beautiful, beautiful summer's day. Abnormally cool, and see how those trees aren't moving? Oh yeah, no wind. You know what that means. Alright, so after a considerable amount of messing around, the range is set up. Hopefully this light wind will stay away, but today we are going to do an accuracy check on what we did a couple of weeks ago, where I ran the King 25's through the Crony on the King Heavy MKII tune. So we're just going to check and see if they are actually accurate. First of all, going to zero at 30 meters, and then we're going to skip on out to the 50 meter mark and shoot some groups out there. So let's get to it. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Alright, so here we are at 30 meters. These two shots were the first cold bore shots. They always end up a little bit low. And then after that, after the barrel was all greased up with some fresh goo, we ended up a little bit higher, which is pretty typical. I then wound it up a little bit and across, wound it the wrong way, something I pretty much always do, and I'm not sure why, but I always get it wrong on the first time. Walked it back into the middle and then milled it properly and went the right direction and shot a 3-round group that is the size, less than the size of my my dirty old spray painted fingernail. So we'll shoot probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 groups out here at 30 meters with that, and then we'll switch over to the King Heavy, the King 25's, and we'll shoot down the bottom here. So as you can see, I've got this excess wrapping paper from all the old Christmas presents we just had, and that will enable us to see the splash of any rounds that are going too high to fit on the paper. So we'll be aiming here, but I'm expecting to see them land around here somewhere, and then we can just mill and aim off, shoot some more groups down there and compare the two accuracy wise, and then if this wind holds out, we'll step it back out to the 50 meter mound. Alright, so I'm just going to keep shooting groups at this 30 meter mound until I have emptied my magazine. Alright, and for some King 25's. So, try and replicate the factory speed by clicking back to A, which should give us an average of about 920 feet per second. Alright, here we go with the King 25. Alright, let's go and have a look. Alrighty then, so here we are at 30 meters. Let's have a look-see here. Center to center, we're looking at 15 mil for the first one. About half that for the second one, 8 or 9. And finally for the third one, 11 or 12 mil, whatever that says there. So pretty small, pretty consistent. So this is 30 meters, and that is the JSB King 25's, the smaller ones that it comes for, tuned from the factory. However, this is shooting on the King Heavy MKII tune that I have tuned my rifle up for. So there you have it. Let's move out to 50 and see how they go. Alrighty, King 25 at 50 meters on the King Heavy MKII tune. Wait for the wind to pass. Refreshing, but not conducive to accuracy.
1 million years later.
Right, so these are our 3 groups here at 50 meters. This is the King 25 on the King Heavy Mark II tune. So these groups are reasonably good, but I think what we're seeing here is mostly more me than anything else, because that is an inch at 50 meters. This one's a little bit less, just a smidgen less, and this one's even smaller. There's a few less rounds in this group though. Let's go that one there. So there you go, 3/4 of an inch, just under. But yeah, this is, I think, for the most part, the errors in these groups are me, not the, especially this here. You can see how there's those two at the bottom there that have just dropped off. I don't think that is a reflection of how the ammo is performing with the gun. I'm pretty sure that's just me pulling shots on that rickety little table that I normally shoot on the ground, prone with a sandbag. And today, because both of my lawnmowers are broken and the range is all long and gross, I'm sitting up on that table up there. So yes, less than stellar, but pretty good. Definitely very usable, and I think in better conditions you wouldn't have any dramas at all using the King 25's on the King Heavy Mark II tune. So with that knowledge in the bag, let's just shoot some groups with the King Heavy Mark IIs at 50 meters and see how they compare. Alright, back on the King Heavy Mark IIs and cranked back up to max power. So. Alright, so here we are at 50 meters. These are the King Heavy Mark IIs shooting on their own tune, which the tune is really good for these ones, but some exceptionally mediocre shooting by me today. So still about an inch at the 50 meter mark, but I'm not super excited about my performance today. Just to clarify, this is all me. I don't think this is the gun or the ammo or the tune. I'm quite sure it's me shooting off that wobbly bench. So I'm going to chuck my range box under the butt of the rifle and use it as a better rest. See if we can't get some better groups before I run out of air and before that storm hits us. The weather has turned quite quickly, and you can sort of see the wind coming in and blowing down along this here tree line, making life difficult for me. So hopefully we'll get one more good magazine through before I run out of air and start getting rained on. But yeah, oh well, see what happens. Alright, so that's a bit better with the shooting rest underneath it. The only thing that's really throwing me off now is the wind. So let's just have a look-see here. This is 50 meters, King Heavy Mark IIs on the King Heavy Mark II tune. Center to center, looking pretty good. We're looking at about 15 mil for 5 shots, and this bigger group here was the whole rest of the mag, so that will be another 11 shots there, and we're looking at 26 mil, so just over an inch. So pretty good. A little bit less disappointed with myself now, so I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of more solid shooting setup, I think, if I'm going to be doing more serious accuracy testing in the future. But pretty interesting stuff. So the groups for the 25's, the King 25's, are very much comparable to the ones that it's actually tuned for. I'll go up and measure everything properly, get some averages for you. So I measured up all the groups and wrote down my findings. With the King 25's at 30 meters, we had a 15 mil, a 9 mil and a 17 millimeter group, which gives us an average of 13.6, just under 14 millimeters at 30 meters. And the King Heavy Mark II's they averaged out to 12.5 millimeters. So there was one 11 mil group, 14 mil group. Small groups, pretty good, pretty much to be expected at such close range. Then we stretched it on out to 50 and got a 23 millimeter average for the King 25's and a 22 millimeter average for the King Heavy Mark II's. So no real discernible difference. The King Heavy Mark IIs are slightly better on the King Heavy Mark II tune, which I guess is to be expected, but the King 25s still perform really well, even though the tune is not optimized for them. So I think you'd be more than happy with the results that you would get shooting the King 25s on the King Heavy Mark II tune. So that'll probably wrap us up for today. If you liked the video, smash that like button. If you have any other questions, drop a comment and I'll get back to you to the best of my abilities, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.